Okay, so we're on to shelf 4, and we're going to start that shelf off with Ben-Hur. This is obviously from the collector's set, which I showed you during the game run tour, and I think I also did a more in-depth look at it on my previous overview of the collector's editions that I own. We have the digibook of The Big Lebowski. Great film. I don't know how I went without seeing that for so long. First time I seen it was with that copy. A really funny, entertaining film. Great casting, by the way, as well. They had Big Trouble, Little China. Haven't, unfortunately, guilty sin of mine. I haven't actually seen this one yet. I promise I will watch it within the next couple of days. Do not send me any death threats. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Love this film growing up. Now, to be fair, it doesn't hold up as well as I thought it would, but it's still, for nostalgia's sake, it's still a pretty entertaining film. A great film that still holds up is The Birds. This is Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, and really good addition, and looks beautiful in this on this release. Then we have Black Sheep. If you're not familiar with this film, basically this is like a zombie film, but instead of zombies, there's sheep, and it actually has special effects by Weta Workshop. Weta Workshop is the ones that have done special effects in Lord of the Rings, which is the main one they're known for, but also the King Kong remake, and basically anything with Peter Jackson, they've pretty much done stuff for them. When we have Blade Runner, again, this is from the set, which you can actually kind of see right here. It was included in this one. Then we have the nice hard edition here of Blazing Saddles. If it'd stay up there, there we go. Really entertaining film. Boondock Saints. I want to get the second one, the sequel. Just haven't got to it yet. And finally, we have the only of the Bourne films I have here, which is the fourth one, Bourne Legacy. I got that for about $6, I think, with slipcover. So I thought I would pick that up with the intention of buying the other ones. I just haven't got to them yet. Probably this summer. Usually there's another sale. Maybe this summer I'll pick it up. Okay, so we have another 5 here. Bullet to the Head. This is a Stallone film. Not as good as some of his other films that he's recently come out with, but a decent little action film. Then we have the Burning, part of the $2 Shout Factory releases that I got. Unfortunately, I haven't watched that one yet. The Butler, decent film, and we also have Cabin in the Woods, and finally Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks. Fortunately, I haven't watched this one yet either. I think I got this one in a Videotron sale, if I'm not mistaken. Videotron, by the way, if you're not familiar, being obviously I'm from Canada, specifically Quebec, Videotron is basically a cable provider, but they also have a video rental store, one of the few still around, and they have good deals sometimes on stuff. The only thing with them is you gotta be careful is that they also sell rental-only copies, so you just have to be careful with that. Cats and Dogs: Revenge of Kitty Galore. This came actually in a combo pack. I wanted some of the other ones. I can't remember. I think it was Surf's Up or something, and that came with it. Then we have a decent film here. This is Chef with Jon Favreau. He acts in this one as well. Basically, it's a story where this guy's a chef. He decides to quit his job and starts up a kind of like a chip stand or whatever. Pretty cool. Christmas Shoes, decent, heartwarming Christmas film. Chronicle, really cool found footage type film. Then we have the Riddick film. So we have Chronicles of Riddick, which includes the first film, Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, which was the sequel, and then Dark Fury, which was the animated. Unfortunately, it only came with the DVD. Then we also have Riddick, which is the latest film. I heard they're supposed to be making not only another movie, but also a TV show. Be interesting to see how that kind of pans out. You can tell Vin Diesel really likes doing the Riddick movies. That's kind of his pet project, and hopefully the TV show turns out really well for him. We'll go with Chuck Norris, Missing in Action 1 and 2. I think they released the third one on Blu-ray recently. I'll probably pick that up. Then we have Citizen Kane. Great film. Never didn't know I would like that film until I actually bought this edition for cheap, and I really enjoyed that film. Then we have City Slickers. Great film. I really enjoyed that one. Then we have Clash of the Titans, which is the remake, by the way, and then the sequel to the remake, Wrath of the Titans. And I suppose we can throw this one here. This is Cliffhanger. Never opened it yet, but one of my favorite films. And at some point I will get a viewing because I really enjoy that film. One of Stallone's best, actually. Another Stallone. This is Cobra. I haven't actually watched it yet. I actually got that with the Cliffhanger film. Then we have Cockneys versus Zombies. A really funny film, actually, if you like the comedy aspect of zombies. Collateral Damage, a decent, underrated Schwarzenegger revenge flick. The Colony. I think I did a review on this one at one point. Decent film, decent sci-fi. And then we have Commando, another Arnie classic. Every Arnold fan has to have Commando in their collection. Condemned. This is the Steve Austin film. I think they made some like knockoff sequels or something. I'm not a wrestling fan, but I gotta say I liked Steve Austin in this one. Basically, it's kind of like a Hunger Games kind of death sport kind of thing. We have The Conjuring, a really good horror film. We have Constantine, a decent film for what it was. Not great, however. Contagion, another decent drama, I suppose you can say. Then we have Contraband with Mark Wahlberg, another film I really enjoyed. I think we're starting to really get into the Rogers sale. If you're not familiar with the Rogers sale, basically it's also another video chain, or used to be, I should say, in Canada, especially in the Ontario region. And they had closed down, so they had their big fire sale, and I got a whole ton. That's where I share a lot of my Blu-ray collection, actually, including this one, Couples Retreat. Cowboys and Aliens, also got it from there. This one I bought separately. Crank 1 and 2, double pack. Crawl Space, another film I got through the Shug Factory glitch sale. And then finally, The Croods, which unfortunately I don't think I've seen this one yet. I'll have to check that one out. Okay. Then we have Dallas Buyers Club. Really good film. Another really good film, by the way, is Dances with Wolves. Really long, though. I think this cut is 4 hours long, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to say it's 4 hours long. I'm not too sure, though. Really long, but really good film. We have a double pack here. Dante's Peak and Daylight. Of the two, Dante's Peak is a superior film. Although I like the kind of cheesiness of this one as well. It's a double pack, but it actually comes with 2 discs. For those interested, as you can see right here, it comes with the 2 discs. I'm probably going to make covers for them individually, so I can put them in their own in order to where they should be. We have Dark Shadows. This is the Johnny Depp kind of horror comedy with the cool Lynn Tickler slipcover. I got that really cheap. I can't remember, at the Videotron sale. Then we have Darkman. One of Liam Neeson's first decent, like, big film, I guess you can say. Really cool. Kind of a comic book kind of film. Really cool, though, to see him see Liam Neeson in that. We have Date Night. Now, this is one of those ones where I said you have to be careful when you're buying from Videotron. I don't know if you can see that there. There we go. Rental exclusive at the bottom. That basically means it's the movie, everything's fine, it's great quality, just that it doesn't include extras. Which, to be fair, for that movie, I didn't really care. Then we have The Day After Tomorrow. I really enjoyed this one. I seen this one in theaters originally when it came out, and of all of these Roland Emmerich type of disaster films, it's the one I liked quite a bit. Keanu Reeves is Day the Earth Stood Still. I kind of wish I would have got the. I think they had a steelbook edition that included both this and the original film on DVD. Unfortunately, I didn't get that one. We have Death Race 1 and 2, and to complete the collection, we have Death Race 3. I've seen the first one, I haven't seen the first two. I want to see them. I just haven't got into them yet. Then we have Devil's Rejects and The House of a Thousand Corpses double pack. They're the same films, so I kind of left them in the one pack. The first one I really enjoyed. The second one I have to watch again because I don't know if I was really into it at the time. I don't think I really liked it the first time. Then we have the Die Hard collection, which includes the first 4 films. Unfortunately, it does not include the Live Free or Die Hard unrated edition. Then we have in my opinion, not a great Die Hard film, A Good Day to Die Hard. I actually seen this in theater, and it wasn't a great film, let alone a Die Hard film. Then we have Doom, not a great video game, but great video game film, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I really like that one like I said, for the guilty pleasure. Then we have Doctor Strangelove. This is the digibook. Really cool edition and a great film to boot. Unfortunately, not a lot of people have seen this one. This is Dread. Great film. Again, hardly anybody's seen it. As it falls down. There we go. Another film I'm not a huge fan of. If you've seen my 2013, I actually threw this across the room. Drive. I won't do that this time only because I don't feel like picking it up. Not really a big fan. Honestly, it's just very slow for me. And I'm not necessarily against slow films, but the whole entire film, it seems like Ryan Gosling's character just like stares at the woman, and I honestly don't get it. Then we have Due Date. Interesting film. Then we have Dumb and Dumber. I wanted to get Dumb and Dumber 2. I just haven't got to it. We have Dumbo, complete with slipcover. I really like this film. As an adult, I like it more for like the animation style now than the film, obviously. But really cool addition. And one thing with the Disney Blu-rays is that they really do a good job with the extras. Okay. The Eagle has landed. Another Shout Factory glitch. $2 buy. Live, Die, Repeat. This is Edge of Darkness. Or Edge of Tomorrow, I should say. Really good film. Very surprised at that one, how great it was. Unfortunately, not a lot of people have seen it. Then we have Edward Scissorhands. One of my favorites growing up as a kid. Still enjoy it. Still holds up. Elysium. Haven't watched it yet. Hear mixed things about it. And then End of Watch. A great, gritty film. Made by the guy who's doing the Suicide Squad movie. Who's named David Ayer. So if you kind of want to get like a taste of the type of film he can bring, check out that one. Then we have The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. This came out around the time when a lot of like older actors like Liam Neeson and I guess Denzel Washington and whatnot, Bruce Willis, stuff like people like that. So this is kind of Denzel Washington's take on that. And it was decent enough. I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest with you, but overall it wasn't a horrible movie. Okay, so then we have Eraser, a great Arnold Schwarzenegger film. We have a 2-pack here of Ernest. What is it? Ernest Goes to Camp and Camp Nowhere. Jim Varney, definitely will be missed. I really liked him as Ernest, and he was a really good comedian, actually. For that, next up, we're going to have a series of films. One of, if not my all-time favorites, uh, just film franchises in general. Definitely campy, cheesy, all that good horror stuff. It's Evil Dead, the original, Evil Dead 2 with slipcover, the just recently released collector's edition of Army of Darkness, the steelbook edition of the remake. All of these are great films. If you're going to watch one, however, I would definitely recommend Evil Dead 2. Watch that one first. You don't really have to see the first one. It kind of does like a semi reboot. So check that one out first. And if you like that one, then check out all of them. I think you'll like them even more. What's funny with this one is that it was actually originally meant to be a serious film, but because the acting and it was Sam Raimi's first film, and it was done like a super low budget. Uh, it ended up being more cheesier than what they probably envisioned, but it ended up working in its favor, and they actually played off of that quite a bit when they did sequels. And they actually have Ash versus the Evil Dead, which is a TV show that's currently out right now on Stars. I would recommend watching that as well if you really like that. Then we have The Exorcist here. This is the Halloween edition. It comes with like a little slipcover kind of thing. Sorry, a little card or whatever. I kind of keep it with that one. I think it looks cool. The Expendables, Expendables 2. I want to get Expendables 3. I just haven't picked it up yet. We have Extract. Unfortunately, I haven't seen that one yet. The Family, really funny comedy with Robert De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer. Another funny comedy is Fanboys. If you're a Star Wars fan, even if you're not, I think you'll still like this one. Really entertaining. Basically, what it's about this guy who has terminal cancer, and he wants to see episode 1. This was the time when episode 1 was coming out, and so they get this bright idea for their friend to sneak in onto Skywalker Ranch and steal a copy of Phantom Menace. Of course, we all know how that turned out as a film, but it was a really funny and even touching film. Then we have the Fast and Furious collection here. We have Fast and Furious 2, or 2 Fast and Furious, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, which to my chagrin actually came in a steelbook. I didn't want that. And then Fast and Furious 7. All of these are decent in their own way. They're kind of dumb action stuff, stunt type of things or whatever. But of all these, I would say Fast 5 is pretty good, and Fast 7 was really good too. Actually, the last 3 have been really, really good. Obviously, you can tell they put a lot of money into them now. Universal realized that there's a lot of money to be made from the franchise, and so as they continue making them, they put even more and more money into it, and of course, it ends up making, at least for those type of films anyway, more money usually makes a better film for those type of films. And then we have Fred Claus, Frankenweenie. And by the way, I'm sure you've already realized this by now, but I'm actually going to do 2 shells at a time from here on out, just to make them go by a little quicker. Forbidden Planet, Finding Nemo, and Fight Club, a great film. Decent Christmas film, really good. I like this kind of like black and white Tim Burton animated thing. Forbidden Planet, I heard good things about it. I haven't watched it yet. Finding Nemo, a classic. And like I said, Fight Club, a great film. With an awesome twist, by the way. Which I will obviously not give away if you haven't seen it. Funny enough, not a big fan of vampire film, but yet I have Fright Night. Actually, a really good film. I really like that. The Frighteners, one of Michael J. Fox's last films. I want to say his last film was Mars Attack, if I'm not mistaken. And it could be. Then we have From Beyond. A really cheesy horror film. Really gory as well. Then we have Fury. And finally we have Gamera Trilogy. Really enjoyed that one. It was actually kind of what got me into uh, Godzilla type films, kaiju films. All right, so next one is Gangster Squad. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. It had a bit of a controversy because it was around the time of the Colorado shooting, and there was a scene in this one that there was supposed to be a shootout in the Chinese Grauman Chinese Theater or whatever, and they had to cut it out of the film because of that event. Get Him to the Greek, really funny film. Another film I enjoyed was Get Smart. And then two films I enjoy, Ghostbusters 1 and 2. This is the Digibook edition. All right, so we have one more pile to go, and then we'll have shelves 3 and 4 complete. So let's pull this down here. Try not to kill myself. There we go. All right, so next up we have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Really cool edition. Great film. I kind of wish they would make part 2 and 3. I don't know if that'll ever happen though. Godzilla, and this is kind of like my very small Godzilla collection. So we have the original Criterion release of Godzilla. Great edition, by the way, although kind of expensive. I think I paid about $30-40 for it. Then we have Godzilla 2000. The best Godzilla film ever made. Of course, I'm lying. Roland Emmerich's Godzilla. A decent American Godzilla, however, is the recent Godzilla film, simply called Godzilla. And that's a nice steelbook as well. Then we have an all-time classic. Again, if you're from the 80s and 90s, everyone knows The Goonies. Great film. Another favorite of mine is Goodfellas. If you like mafia-type movies, that's a great movie to watch. We have Green Hornet. Not a great film, but man, is it a beautiful steelbook. I don't normally buy movies for steelbooks, but when a steelbook looks that good, you have to consider it. Gremlins, and finally Gremlins 2. All of these are pretty good except for Green Hornet. Again, a classic, really good mafia film. Gremlins, of the two, Gremlins is the superior film, but Gremlins 2 is a decent follow-up. And I heard that they want to do a Gremlins 3, and now there's talks that it might actually be just simply a follow-up film, like a semi-sequel, similar to like Jurassic World. Then we have Grindhouse. Unfortunately, I do not have the slipcover for that. And then we have Halloween, the 35th anniversary edition. We have Halloween 2, 3. These are the Shout Factory releases. 4, 5. I think these are Anchor Bay. And then this one was Alliance, which is a Canadian release of 6, 7, and 8. Right there. All on the one disc. No extras, unfortunately, but to be honest with you, I'm not a huge Halloween fan, at least for those particular movies, to really care about having the extras for them. But anyways, that's basically it for this video, so we'll see you in the next one.